All right, folks, welcome back to the Breakout. We are about to start with Aerobiz Supersonic by Starwind X9. And frankly, without further ado, let's just jump into it. So again, here is Starwind X9 with Aerobiz Supersonic.
Howdy! Thanks for having me. So the timer starts when I hit new games. I'm going to give a little bit of the preamble first because it's a little bit of a complicated setup. So first of all, hi, I'm Star. Thanks for having me.
We're happy to have you.
So for Aerobiz Supersonic, the goal is to be #1 in passengers in 4 regions, including your home region. The scenario 4 just means the time frame. So we're going to be starting in the far-flung future of 2000 and playing until 2020. No spoilers as to what happens during that time. And then glider is just about the difficulty. So if I was on a different difficulty, I would have a slightly more difficult wind condition. So I have to just be #1 in passengers. Overall, my airline needs to be profitable. So like a single route can lose money, but overall, as long as I'm profitable for an entire year, I'm good. And that's basically it. I just have to, I can't hit new game or anything that would tip me off as far as what the board looks like. So, and I'll explain more as we kind of go, but yeah, that's kind of it. Are we good to go?
I think we're good to go.
Awesome. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Good luck with this
All right,
run.
Jumping over to scenario 4, like I said, and then selecting my difficulty. There is 1 player. That player is me. I'm going to choose my home base, which is going to be New York City. Oh my god, these menus, there's going to be a lot of me just fumbling through menus because that's just kind of how it is. And then I ended up getting competition in my home region. So now this is going to take just a little bit longer. Generally, you do not want to have any competition in any regions that you're operating in. That's just kind of the easy way to do this. So we're, I said glider is easy, but we're just going to be playing on a little bit more of a hard mode.
So we're basically
all right. So the first thing I'm going to do, I turned off my animations, and then I'm going to sell some of my planes. This is just to make the menuing easier. So let's see. It's random, kind of what I start with. So these MD-12s, I have 3 instead of I have 2 of these 11s. So I'm going to do these. I'm going to run with the 12s. I've seen runners run with either. But the goal is to just make sure that you only have 1 type of plane so that you just never have to deal with the menu for selecting a plane.
I love the way we save time in these games. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, as a brand new airline, the first thing I'm doing is selling basically all of my planes. And I'm also going to make sure that I'm going to have as few flights as possible. But people will love me because I'm also going to make my flights as cheap as possible. Because you win with passengers in this game and not profits. So again, you're going to see me set all of my costs low, and especially in North America as low as possible. Just to undercut all of my competition. But yeah, so that is my initial order. I will do 1 more backup order once we get going. But we will start doing our negotiations. I already forgot who my competitors are. So we're just going to figure this out. So the most profitable thing I can do is set up my international flights first. And I have to fly to every region regardless. So part of the victory conditions is opening up a hub for my airline in every region. So kind of regardless of who my competition is, I kind of need to open up. And I generally want to make sure I am flying to the more profitable places. So you can see economy and tourism there in the ratings. So that's going to impact who I specifically want to fly to. But then as far as when it comes to where I'm going to actually open my hub and operate out of outside of North America, which is my home base. That's just going to be relative to wherever my competition is. So again, I know I have someone in North America, but I would have had 2 other opponents, so wherever they're based. Also, you can do a direct flight with these starting planes to every location from New York, with the exception of Australia. So I will always prioritize a hub in Tokyo because I do Tokyo to Sydney as my route to Australia.
Huh.
What's up?
No, I'm just. This is amazing. This is
This is one of my favorite games ever, and it's also like kind of confusing. And I can only see the Matrix because I played this just nonstop as a kid.
You're playing this, and I'm picturing your VTuber just having all the numbers, memes float around it.
You know, you're not that far off, really. All right. So the thing is, I want a number of passengers, not necessarily the most profitable flights. So we're gonna take this like gigantic like transatlantic liner, and we're just gonna fly from New York to Philly. Because you know what? It's gonna get people in seats.
This is amazing.
And then only 1 flight to Miami, so that's a bit of a bummer. Denver, I have 10 slots, so we're gonna roll to Denver. Denver is usually one of my better picks.
The music is a banger here.
Yeah, the only issue is like that's all you hear. So you hear 1 song per region. So it just kind of is. So you're just gonna hear a lot of that. Okay, so Lares, that's Paris, and then Korea. So I have to have 4. Yeah, every time one of these events pops up, it's just time loss. I'm sorry, it just is.
That's so sad.
If anyone asks me for help, I also have to like say no because this is time loss. So these are the initial planes I ordered. There's a representative from Japan. I'm sure they're gonna do reducing air pollution. That would be great if I wasn't speedrunning this game. All right,
This
and
really
I'm
is just like capitalism.
yeah, but you know it's not profit that I'm going for. It's
true.
just a number of passengers. So I'll stop for a second. This is like the overall like profitability. So you can see that there's pink there in my bar. That just means that's kind of like where the profit line is. So as long as the red does not extend past my green, I'm still considered to be profitable. And as long as I'm profitable for an entire year, that fulfills my victory condition.
So pink is good.
Yeah, that's profit. That's all profit margin. You know, we did some like basic math, and I'm not throwing shade when I say basic. I mean like that's about the math I can handle. So I'm letting the computer handle the math now, but this is, you know, like we went from like 3rd grade advanced to like we're working on our MBA now. So we're setting up our first international flights. So these are just kind of like my cash cows, but also like again, I'm required to fly to every continent. So I am going to just set up basic flights everywhere. You could always see I'm setting my prices below average, just because my incentive really is to actually I think it was 1 second. I think it was Tokyo that's open. Yes. I really care about selling out my flights. So like that is all I care about. So like I'm not going to run a ton of flights necessarily, and I'm also going to make sure that they're not too expensive.
This is incredible. Am I about to start playing this game?
I highly recommend it. It is a ton of fun, and I have never found a game quite like it, other than like other like Koei like strategy games from this era.
Huh.
Fun fact: everything is randomized in this, like as far as the events or the future. So historical things are obviously like preset. So the only thing that is like guaranteed in this scenario is the Summer Olympics in Sydney, So flying to Sydney quickly is always like a good thing to do because tourism is booming because of the Olympics.
So this is essentially a airplane sim roguelike.
Kind of, yeah. Like it is random, like which cities I start with, which like planes I have. So I'm just checking to make sure I'm like in everywhere. Okay, that is every location. So now I'm going to switch to getting some hubs going. So since I'm negotiating in every territory, so once you are flying into a location, you can open a hub. So since I have a flight currently going to Tokyo, that means Tokyo can now be my hub in Asia.
Uh-huh.
And again, I have to have a hub in every region. And again, these are just kind of simulating the computer moves.
So is this a game you could play like multiplayer, like Civilization?
Yes. Yes. So when I grew up, it was like me and my brother would play it constantly. And it was always like a bummer because, you know, you're taking turns. And so like, you know, we'd be sitting there staring at like, you know, what planes do we have? And like we would know immediately like who is bidding for what and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, it's not a great local multiplayer experience is what I'm trying to say. All right, so we have our initial flights. I think we just got Africa. So we're going to get Tunisia. And then once a hub is opened and I have a second flight in a region, that is when I am like in competition for a region.
Got it.
All right, so now we're going to start negotiating for like our secondary cities. Again, so like I flew into Mexico City, and now I'm going to have my route in South America be from Mexico City to Rio de Janeiro. So it makes the most sense to kind of like prioritize spreading out, but then it is about creating a hub and then the actual flights in each region. And again, I don't have to worry about competing in regions where I know I have competition. So again, my opponents are Paris and Seoul. So I know not to bother competing in Europe or Southeast Asia. So that means like South America for me is wide open to take. And I'm just kind of keeping an eye on like, these are the numbers, my regional rankings, and these are the numbers I have to keep up with. And as long as I'm number one in 4 of those boxes, that's the win condition. So I have to be careful.
The AI is not very good.
What's that?
I would imagine the AI isn't very good at this.
I mean, that's why we're playing on Glider, which is the easiest difficulty.
Oh.
But the problem is I do have competition. So the thing is, they're not necessarily going to expand that quickly. And if they do expand, they're just going to fly there. They're not going to create a hub and start spoking from there. So it makes it fairly simple to win just by being fast. So like the speed run kind of plays itself. There is a reason why people don't necessarily run this game, because it is like effectively solved. And it's just a matter of like, do you want to reset this a bunch of times until you have like the optimal RNG? And you know, I just think this game is fun. So
that's really the most important thing, is that you're having fun with this silly game.
Yeah, it's kind of sad because like the mystery of this game like went away once I read the speedrun guide for it. Because like I played this game all the time casually and like still will do. And now it's like I have to not do the speedrun strats.
You have to intentionally play suboptimal.
Yeah, well, it's like the downside of all this is like I was joking earlier that like, you know, whether or not I go overestimate like time wise, and like that really doesn't matter because like if I go overestimate, I'm just gonna go bankrupt. So the game's gonna mercy kill me. So it just doesn't matter.
I see.
Yeah.
So the idea
because
is that
again,
you are essentially running against your bankruptcy because you will eventually stop being profitable.
Yeah.
In the game.
Yes, because remember how I'm just like trying to get bodies into seats and I'm not charging a lot for my flights. and just not doing anything particularly effectively. So, you know.
We're doing
So let me
bodies
just
and
take
planes.
stock. Okay, so we're ready there. Europe, I'm not going to continue in. Africa, I need to negotiate in. But yes, we are like getting very close to like the late game here. As crazy as it sounds, it's just
Wow.
how fast this run goes, because it's just like once you get set up, you just kind of roll. But the fun of this is, again, I have competition back home, so I'm going to open a few like safety flights. And again, this just makes the whole like, I don't want to go bankrupt that much harder because I have to undercut quite a bit. And so, yeah, I just have that fun. So, not too many
You're doing the
flights quite
classic
yet.
capitalist thing where you steal the market.
Yeah, and I'm
then
just
once you have the market, overcharge.
I'm gonna
yourself
jack up all the
afterwards.
prices. Like, yeah, if this run was going to continue, the thing I would do is just jack up all my prices immediately. You're 100%. I'm pricing my competition literally out of the market so that they go bankrupt first, and then then that's like number go up after that. Profit go burr. For now, we just got to keep watching the line to make sure it doesn't get too hectic. So I do need to start like paying attention to like what my opponent's moves are. So you can see like everyone is still profitable. Typically, I won't be the one making the most money. So like I still have a wide lead in North America, but I always have to be like mindful if as they continue to expand. So.
Mhm.
And then I'm watching to see where all I am at because it's going to be a matter like, so like my opponent has a couple of hubs going. All right, so Australia is going to be ready to go, and that's the only thing that opened up. So now we're just going to collect hubs while we're waiting for everything else, because there has to be hubs everywhere, regardless of whether or not I'm going to compete there. So I just want to make sure the my employees are always busy. So this is why I'm kind of like sending them out. And then I'm also going to do, normally I do my shop for planes like back to back, but I'm trying to be careful money-wise. So I'm trying to wait to see like what I truly need. So since I still have 2 planes in my hangar, I'm just going to do like 6 and hope that's enough. Again, the biggest expenses are obviously your planes and then opening a route. Anytime you open a route, it's actually quite expensive. It is much cheaper to build a hub than it is compared to starting a new flight. And I skip through these. I cannot read these that fast, so I'm just praying that emergency landing was not me. Because that's just kind of how we're rolling.
Targic.
All right. Yeah, it looks like Leer is going to be difficult, but I have most of my hubs, so we're doing good. Yeah, Korea started flying into North America. We have our hub in London. All right, so this might be like very close to victory conditions here. So let's hop over to Oceania because I can now operate a flight from Sydney to Auckland. And again, as long as there's no competition yet, I'm not too worried about it. So we're just, again, just trying to get a flight going. So that's done. I saw that South America was ready. Yep. So we're going to fly from Mexico City to Rio. Again, like, it's very helpful to not have to worry about like making selections for the planes for each trip and things like that. So,
right.
So that's set up.
This is extraordinarily impressive how deep your knowledge of this game goes.
What's that?
it's extraordinarily impressive to me how deep your knowledge of this game is.
You know, it's a desert island game for me. I've played this game just so much. And then, like, once you look up, like, what the speedrun strats are, again, that's, like, when you start to see, like, through the matrix, so... Which is a bit of a curse, like I said. It's like, oh, it's not fun to know, like, how the numbers work under the hood.
Would that actually help you in a multiplayer game, though?
Yes.
Oh.
Because I know that there's, like, a certain number of things, like your advertising budget really does not matter much, other than, like, for, like, I think it's only, like, 2/4, I think, your advertising budget actually impacts. So, like, it's only good if you're trying to steal something very temporarily, things like that. But, like, again, I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, so you can start to see where, like, I'm no longer going to be the most profitable. I have competition in South America, so that's might be a little bit difficult. But I can also diversify to other regions. So, Lair, I believe, is wanting to make things spicy, but I just need one more region to be number 1 in. As long as I get my slots. Let's see. Yep. All right. So I just got my slots in Africa, and I only needed one more region. So this would get me number 1 in Africa because there was no competition. So we're just gonna run this one flight, drop the fare, and that's okay. And then, so it was Oceania that I had competition in, it looked like, right? Or no, it was South America, sorry. Yep, and it looks like they're running almost the exact same route, so... Oh, wrong menu, 1 second. I'm just gonna change my flight here. So I'm gonna add an extra plane so I can get more flights going. So I can bump up, like, the total count of passengers, and then we are going full lowest possible fare, just to make sure that my competition can't keep up with me in this region. But yeah, so we're just going to do a quick look. Europe's ready, Africa's ready, Middle East is ready. We already know Asia because we did Oceania. We already know Oceania, and we're based in North America. So now I end my turn and see if I remain number 1. And then it's either a countdown or a victory. I'll let you know if it's a victory. So there's my 4 regions and time.
Let's go.
Yeah, the order of operations there. Sometimes you have to defend, so you literally will spend like 3/4 trying to defend. So you have like 3 turns where you're like jockeying for position. But because I didn't lose first place in any region and I had all my hubs done, that's it. What was the final time?
I believe it was around 22 minutes.
Okay, that's really solid. My PB is like 21 minutes. So yeah, there is 2 runs on the speedrun.com for this. The world record is like 13 or 14 minutes.
What?
Yeah, like I said, this is like a solved game, and so people will just reset till you get the exact board you want, and then you run it. And so having competition in your home region would be an automatic reset because you saw I had to open several flights. But yeah, that is Aerobiz Supersonic Scenario 4.
You never could have done it without you, boss.
Yeah. So there you go. That's your crash course for your NBA because I didn't have the title screen go, but this is literally from Koei Tecmo's executive series. So I hope you feel like a true business executive. Um, if you think this game is cool, I mean, seriously, just like go download this game. It is on, I mean, acquire it legally. It is on SNES and it is on the Genesis. But there are some other Koei Tecmo games that are on NSO. So if you like think this is cool, I believe Uncharted Waters, which is the same team here, is on NSO, and it's a like, pirate ship game, which is super rad. I want to learn how to run that as well, but it is not a 13-minute run, so that's why I learned this first. But yeah, I've been Star. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/StarWinX9. That's also my Blue Sky, starwinx9.bsky.social. And my YouTube once I actually start uploading stuff. I'm pretty brand new to streaming. I'm very brand new to running. This is like my 3rd time running anything ever. So shout out to the Breakers for not only getting me into, this community, but also then into like hosting and speedrunning. So everyone here is fantastic. I cannot thank them enough. But yeah, that's it for me. I want to watch some Life is Strange. We can go out on this person who is definitely not me being hoisted up in the air.
Oh, let's give one more shout out to Starwind X9 for that incredible run of Aerobiz Supersonic. What a fun run that was. Excellent time, almost a PB. We loved to see it. We love this heartfelt, like, graduation style music in the back.
That was literally 1 turn longer than my PB, looking at the timeline.
That's awesome. Let's go. I hope everyone has their water nearby. I hope everyone's getting another stretch break, because boy howdy are we coming up on one of the best games of all time. Life is Strange Chapter 1. Don't go anywhere except to stretch.